Welcome to Slay, the podcast where we dive into all aspects of female health and fitness. I'm your host, Louise Hazel, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about success. At some point in our lives, we all strive for success, whether it be our career goals, body goals, or in our relationships. We can't escape the fact that every single one of us has desired more from ourselves at some capacity. So why is it that for some people, success comes easy, whilst others could be doing the same thing and getting nowhere? And what about you? Do you feel successful or do you feel stuck? Are you spinning your wheels? Do you feel like you've hit a plateau despite consistent effort? And is this causing you frustration, demotivation, or even apathy? If so, then this episode is for you. Join me this week as we uncover the 3 fundamental truths to success. Before we start, I'm going to tell you about my experience and approach to success. I truly believe that I can achieve almost anything I put my mind to. And I remember one day telling one of my track coaches that I believed that I could make the 100-meter Olympic sprint final if I gave up the heptathlon to focus solely on that single event. I remember him scoffing in disbelief. He told me I had no chance. And I can remember feeling butthurt at first. And I felt like he was attacking my ability and my mindset, and he clearly thought I was delusional. However, more so than saying that I could simply make an Olympic final, what I was saying was, in the right environment, with the right coach and the right program, I truly believed that I could make it to the 100-meter final. If I could run the times, then the one thing I knew for sure would never let me down is my mental resilience and self-belief. The reality was that I knew I didn't have immediate access to any of those things. My coaches were average, I lived in a small rural town, and I was the fastest athlete around for miles. I didn't have the means to live in the USA or Jamaica where the best sprinters in the world were training. But what I did have was the heptathlon. I was ranked in the top 30 in the world by my 20s. And I knew that many of those athletes would age out of the sport by the time I hit my peak. And as a result of being real with myself, and what I could achieve with what I had, I managed to achieve major success as a professional sportswoman. I represented my country at the Olympic Games, and I won a gold medal and the title of Commonwealth Games champion, and my name will forever be in the history books. Today, I'm also the CEO of Slay, an owner of my own gym here in Hollywood. And the one thing that I learned in my journey is that success is governed by 3 fundamental truths. Now, most of us are either unaware of these fundamental truths or in conflict with them, and that's what prevents us from being successful. So in today's podcast, I'm going to be teaching you the 3 fundamental truths to success that will underpin every single success story, regardless of the field or endeavor. But the most important lesson that I will teach you is how to align yourself with these fundamental truths. Then you too will be successful at anything you put your mind to. Now, where most of you go wrong when it comes to success is that you don't understand what it really takes to succeed. Now, it's not because you're stupid, because you're absolutely not. It's not because you're lazy, because you've tried and you've tried again. The reason you're not successful yet is because nobody has sat you down and taught you the rules of success. And notice I said yet. Because trust me, if you apply these rules, then your best is yet to come. At school, they taught you algebra, but that didn't make you successful. And at home, they taught you manners, but that didn't make you successful either, did it? You see, some of you are born with success rushing through your veins. It's as natural to you as the air that you breathe, and the rest of you might need just a little bit of help. Maybe you didn't grow up with anyone around you who was exhibiting the qualities of a successful person. Maybe you had it hard and you've had to struggle so much to survive that the thought of being successful is the last thing on your mind because you're just out here trying to get by. Well, I'm here today to let you know that anyone can be successful. Success does not discriminate. Success doesn't care how tall you are, how rich you may be, and it most definitely doesn't care about how talented you are. The only thing that success cares about is whether you understand the way it works for you. You see, the unique thing about success is that it's completely personalized. What works for someone else will not work for you. I repeat, what works for someone else will not work for you. So you can't imitate success. There's no plagiarism when it comes to being successful. Sure, you can be inspired by others, but you can only take the things you like about what someone else has done and make it your own. You see, the 3 fundamental rules to success can be applied to any and every situation. It doesn't matter whether you have a fitness goal, a financial goal, or a relationship goal. If you're unaware of the rules to success, you're starting at a huge disadvantage from the outset, and it's likely you'll never reach them. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the first rule of success. The first rule of success is understanding what it takes to succeed. You'd be surprised how many of us set ourselves goals without truly understanding what it takes in order to achieve them. Now, there are normally 2 challenges that we face at this level. The first challenge is we often lack clarity about the steps we need to take in order to be successful. And the second challenge is we allow our biases, personal experiences, and outside opinions to confuse and confound our understanding of what it takes to be successful. For example, let's imagine you set yourself a goal of saving $1,000 per month, but after paying all of your expenses, you're only left with $950. You're completely unaware that you're spending $15 each day in Starbucks because you refuse to do a financial audit on your spending habits, and therefore you lack clarity about where savings and sacrifices could be made. You're allowing your biases to cloud the fact that you need to give up your daily Starbucks because you've been enjoying your daily Starbucks for the past 5 years and you've always been able to afford it. So why would you stop now? More importantly, your friends are also having Starbucks and they're all doing okay financially. You see, most people get stuck at the first rule of success because they bury their head in the sand. It's much easier to bury your head in the sand than it is to explore the reasons why you're failing. Most people would rather continue to fail than face the cold, hard truth of failure. Now, this makes 0 sense to a person who understands what it takes to succeed, because a person who knows what it takes to succeed doesn't view failure as a negative thing. A person who understands what it takes to succeed does not take failure personally at all. You see, a person who understands what it takes to succeed only views failure as an opportunity to be better than they were yesterday, an opportunity to learn from past mistakes, and an opportunity to course correct, to take a different action that leads them one step closer to their goal. But to a person who doesn't understand what it takes to succeed, a person who won't understand what it takes to succeed, a person who won't explore the hard questions because they don't want to hear the hard answers, to those people, don't be surprised with the job that you didn't get from the work that you didn't do, because that's not how the rules of success work. So I say this to say, if you truly don't know what it takes for you to be successful, then now's the time to hire a coach to help you. But for those of you who have already an understanding of what it takes to be successful, you're really just getting in your own way. Because if you don't really try, then you can't really fail, can you? Now, the difference between you and a person who knows what it takes to succeed is that they're failing upwards. Now, so many people will purport that the key to success is perseverance, but I beg to differ. Having had a successful career as an Olympic athlete, the one thing I will tell you is that before you even get to the point where you need to rely on determination or commitment or perseverance, way before all of that stuff comes something that is far more important to achieving your goals. I'm now going to introduce you to the second rule of success. The second rule of success is accepting what it takes to succeed. Way before you need to tap into any sort of mental resilience comes something that requires much more vulnerability, the need to surrender. You'd be shocked by how many people are out here in these streets trying to fight their way to their first $1 million, trying to fight their way through a diet, or fight their way to their perfect match. Because that's what society has taught us to believe. If you're not sweating, then you're not working, right? Wrong. Whilst I believe strongly in a killer work ethic, what I believe in way more than work ethic is the desire to work smarter. Now, again, there are a couple of challenges that you're going to face at this level of success. The first one is the urge to reinvent the wheel. In summary, you're resisting all of the universal truths of success due to pride, passion, or beliefs in your own biases that differ from the realities of success. And the second challenge is that you feel disempowered and apathetic about the rules of success, or that somehow success is not possible or not for you. Let's return to our previous example of wanting to save $1,000 per month. Now, a person who doesn't accept what it takes to succeed knows that they have to give up their daily Starbucks in order to meet their monthly financial goal. But they're going to try to have their cake and eat it too. So they don't change their spending habits. And surprise, surprise, they never achieve their financial goal. And a person that feels disempowered and apathetic knows that they have to give up their daily Starbucks, but they're going to go and drown those sorrows and dig themselves into a bigger, deeper hole, because there's no point in even trying to save money, because they weren't born rich, so therefore they can't be rich. This person is likely to blame the lack of results on something or someone else. There is no accountability from this person whatsoever. Now, if you're a person who accepts what it takes to succeed, then knowing you can't have your daily Starbucks is not going to cause you too much of an issue at all. It's just something else that needs to be done. A person who accepts what it takes to succeed feels empowered and motivated by making the tough decisions and doing the work, because they understand that whilst they might not have been born rich, continuing to have their daily Starbucks is a surefire way to keep them poor. The person who accepts what it takes to succeed has already decided who they need to be. The person who accepts what it takes to succeed welcomes the idea of sacrifice with open arms. The person who accepts what it takes to succeed is not looking for any shortcuts, because they're busy preparing themselves for battle. The difference between you and the person who accepts what it takes to succeed is that you're still trying to find a workaround whilst they're busy outworking you. So, to a person who won't accept what it takes to succeed, the person who's still trying to rewrite the rules, the person who's still trying to have their cake and eat it too, to those people, don't be surprised with the job you didn't get from the role that you would not accept. Now, have you heard of the expression, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard? Well, I'm here to tell you that is true, my friend. Like I said earlier, success does not discriminate. It doesn't care how talented you are. It doesn't care how talented you've been in the past. Success only concerns itself with who you are being in the present moment. I've literally seen Olympic gold medalists go bankrupt. I've seen millionaires lose it all because many of them didn't understand the rules of success. And the fact that just because you've been successful at one thing doesn't mean you're qualified to be successful at everything. I'm now going to introduce you to the third and final rule of success. The third rule of success is having the skills to do what it takes to succeed. Way before you can excel at something, you need to acquire the skills required to get the job done. Now, one of the biggest lessons that I'm learning is that I can't do it all. I'm stunned by how many people pride themselves on being the CEO, the CAO, the chef, the personal trainer, the doctor, the assistant, and social media manager of their own lives. Now, granted, there may be times when you're forced to do it all, but understand that you were not designed to do it all. As such, there are often three challenges that people face at this level of success. The first is that you're being dishonest about your abilities, behaviors, and current habits. The second is that you're not seeking out opportunities to improve and not dedicating yourself to continual development in the areas that align with the universal truths of success. And the third is that you're failing to surround yourself with people, mentors, partners, tools, and environments that offset your weaknesses so that you can be successful. Let's apply this again to our original example of $1,000 saving goal per month. A person who is being dishonest about their current habits would be aware that they need to give up that Starbucks to hit their target. But rather than give up that Starbucks, they might come with an excuse like, you know what? I really don't drink coffee every day, and try and brush it off. And a person who is not seeking out opportunities to improve won't even explore the idea of homemade coffee that could match up to their beloved Starbucks. And the person who is failing to surround themselves with people and environments that offset their weaknesses, they'll likely arrange to meet their coffee-guzzling best friend at Starbucks, even though they know that the environment is going to throw them off course. In comparison, Here's what a person who has the skills to succeed would do. A person who has the skills to succeed would get real about their current habits. They know that their daily Starbucks is messing up their goals, and so they've set themselves a new goal. They can have one, but they can only have one at the weekend. In comparison, here's what a person who has the skills to succeed would do. A person who has the skills to succeed would get real about their current habits. They know their daily Starbucks is messing up their goals, and so they've set themselves a new goal. They can only have one at the weekend. A person who has the skills to be successful would be asking friends about great and affordable homemade coffee. They might even invest in a machine for their home. And the person who has the skills to be successful would avoid environments that are not conducive to who they want to be and where they want to go. They know that for them, success doesn't live at Starbucks, and they're not going for anyone, anytime, ever. There are no ifs, buts, or maybes to a person who has the skills to do what it takes to succeed. There is only what needs to be done. Now, I think that where most people get confused is when they try to apply the actions that have made them successful in one area of their life to another. Now, if you're realizing that you don't have the skills that it takes to succeed, then that doesn't mean that you can't still be successful. You simply have to create a support network of people around you that can level out your weaknesses. You might need an accountability partner, a financial backer, a therapist, or an accountant. The key to success for you is being honest about who you are and what your limitations are so that you can succeed anyway. So to the person who doesn't have the skills needed to be successful, to the person who's still lying to themselves about their habits, the person who doesn't want to grow or develop or surround themselves with a supportive team, the difference between you and the person who has the skills to do what it takes to succeed is you're still lying about who you are and what you're capable of, and they've already built a team of people that can do it with them and for them. In summary, when we understand the realities of success and accept them as universal truths and lean into our unique skills in the proper areas of life, then success is a very realistic outcome that we can and should expect for ourselves. It should be our mission to master these 3 levels so we can in turn spread the entirety of our professional lives dedicated to executing with the maximum effort and intelligence. The thing to remember is that the rules are not going to bend for you when it comes to success. You don't get to choose what it takes to be successful. You only get to choose whether you're willing to do what it takes to succeed. That concludes this episode of Slay. Stay tuned for more empowering discussions on health, fitness, and life. You can follow me at Louise Hazel on social media. Check out the Slay brand at Slay Athletic, and don't forget to subscribe and review the Slay podcast if you haven't done so already on Spotify. You can get all of the tools and resources that we mention in our podcast via the Slay app. Download it now for free from the App Store and join our online community. I look forward to seeing you next week.